So, as I got near the end of my 3-day adventure playing Tearaway Unfolded Edition on PS4, I began to feel a bit nostalgic as I looked back at my Sonic the Hedgehog Tearaway character, and I began to feel a bit nostalgic and wondered what I would remember most about my adventure in this papercraft land. Was it going to be that time where I made a cat instead of a fish for a guy, and causing the cat to just swim along in the fish tank, leaving the guy pretty confused, to be honest, but leaving me rather amused, if I must say. Look at that cat go. No, well, how about that time when a guy looked for some new fashion advice, only for me to draw a giant paper dick on him and leave him looking rather naked and probably about to get fired from his job, if I'm honest. You should never streak at work, that's for sure. Or what about that time when I was asked to draw some snowflakes, and instead I just drawed a turd with a face, causing it to then just snow a load of shit? I mean, that was a definite highlight. That made me laugh so much. And it got even better when I learnt the wind ability, as I could create a poonado, everybody! A poonado! Now, I think my final memories of this game will be some of the more annoying trophies in an otherwise easy list, like the Chauffeur trophy, which requires you to escort the misplaced gopher back to its home, and this usually requires you to do a load of platforming, and killing loads of enemies while not dying in order to get to the house somewhere in the level. These could be really frustrating, especially when you die and there's no checkpoint to go back, so you have to replay large chunks of the level. But to be honest, they're not in every level, and some of them are a lot easier than others, but there are a few annoying ones, and they did piss me off every time a level had it in there, because it usually meant I had to play the level twice. But that's not the bullshit trophy for me. No, it's definitely not that one. Or what about the Completist trophy, requiring you to 100% the game, which required you to collect all the red and blue presents for side missions, as well as collecting all the confetti. So each level has anywhere between 100 and 500 confetti scattered around the level for you to pick up by running into it. And for the most part, they're on the path that you'll naturally go through the level, and they're always in clumps, so it's not like there's a single one somewhere that's out of the way. There are a couple of areas where you need to throw rocks or something like that to reveal a path, or use your wind to reveal a path, but for the most part they're all there together. The problem with it is, if you get to the end of the level and you're missing one.
1, 2, 3. That was just 3. Oh, that's even worse. No. Oh, that is even worse. That's 1. That means 1 is missing. Oh, fuck. That's even worse. That is disastrous. That means it could be at the start. Oh, what? Fuck.
You then have the fucking displeasure of going through the whole fucking level again to try and find that 1 or 2 or 3 or however many it is that you missed. And thankfully, the game does still show the original confettis, but they're now coloured white instead of like red and yellow and green. So at least you know that you've got those ones. But it's such a ball ache having to go through the level, trying to get through it all and trying to just hunt down that 1 or 2 random confetti that you've missed. Even worse is when it is in like a wall that you need to throw a rock on, because you probably won't even see that the first time through, and when you do find it you just think, fucking hell game, you're just fucking me over there.
Well, there it is. Or is that a person? There it is! Fuck's sake. Look at that. Clipped into the fucking thing. Fuck me, this is fucking annoying. Jesus fucking Christ. There we go. 100%.
No, those confetti definitely aren't the worst part of it, and neither are the presents. They're all fairly easy to get. No, the worst part is the scraps, as you need to get all of them for the 100%, and also for the scrapped trophy, which is absolutely bullshit. So the scrap trophy requires you to dispatch all of the scraps in the game's levels. So this amounts to just defeating every single enemy in each level, but you only actually have to do it in 12 of the 16 levels, as the last few after the end of the second story don't actually contain any enemies. So as you're going through the level, you'll probably encounter scraps. Every now and then you'll get just the odd one, but there's usually a few locked rooms where you must clear them out before you can progress, about 2 or 3 times in a level. And to be fair, the fights are more of a hindrance than an actual threat, as they're all pretty easy to defeat. They're just annoying. So you get different types of enemies. There's normal ones that will spin at you, and you can just hypnotise them with the light bar and then attack them. There's ones with trampolines that you have to jump on and then hit the touchpad to defeat them. There's also ones on stilts and ones that can fly, and you can either throw things at them or hypnotise them again. So it's all fairly easy. You'll go through each level and you'll kick their ass and you'll think, yeah, this is easy. But then you'll get to the end, or you'll check your menu and you'll realise you're missing some. Even though you swore blind, you killed everything in sight.
What the fuck?
You see, and that's where the bullshit problem comes with this trophy, because if you miss some confetti, it's probably because you didn't run into it, so it's your fault. However, with the scrapped trophy, you could have killed the enemies, but the game just didn't give you credit for killing them, and that's where the problem lies, because this happened throughout the game multiple times. I would get into a situation where I'm fighting enemies, and I would either use the touchpad or I would use the light bar rather to hypnotise them and run them off the edge of the cliff, falling into a bottomless pit, and I would think, yeah, I've killed them, and I would move on to the next area, getting to a point where I can't go back, and then I'd get to the end and realise I hadn't killed them all. And then it's only when I go back I'd realise certain points, if you knock people off the edge, even if it's a bottomless pit or just a ledge like you see here, the enemies won't necessarily actually die, so you have to be really careful when you knock them off that you make sure you see the confetti from their dead body fly back up into you, otherwise it's not counted, and you'll see that if you look over the edge, they're just there. Sometimes they could just be standing floating in the air and you just can't get them at this point. Now sometimes, like the example in this video, you do get lucky and you can use the light bar to lure them out and then kill them, but when they're in a bottomless pit and they're floating in mid-air, they're usually just stuck on the edge of the rock and you can't even get them out. So this then just forces you to restart the whole level, which I can't tell you enough is a load of bullshit, man. Why the fuck did they do it like that? If they fall off the edge, they should just be fucking dead instantly. There shouldn't be a chance for them to survive. And that platform down there, I couldn't even jump to because I would just die. Bullshit. It just ruined the trophy for me. It made it a lot worse and a lot more annoying than it ever needed to be. And it also affected each battle because it made them even more tense, as I was really paranoid after the end of each fight if they actually counted. So I was constantly pausing it to count how many I'd killed and see if it matched up to how many I was counting while I was killing them. And it just really slowed things down for me and was just really annoying. And whenever there was an AI companion with me, or if anything weird happened in the battle, I'd always be paranoid that they didn't count because I didn't actually get them myself. And it just made it more and more bullshit than it ever needed to be. Worse still, when I got to the end, having 100%ed every single fucking level, the trophy still hadn't popped. So where the fuck's my trophy?
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's right. There's a weird glitch with this scrapped trophy, in that you actually have to, once you've got 100% and killed every single enemy, it still won't pop, so you have to then go into a random level with scraps and then kill an enemy in it in order to trigger the fucking trophy to unlock. What kind of bullshit's that? I'll tell you what it is. That bullshit trophy rating of...
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit. You said so. It's all bullshit.